Gomez, who really shouldn't be here today. He had such a good chance to win the group last night, missed the 9-ball and ended up losing it in a hill-hill finish to Naoki Oi, the first hill-hill finish we've had to any of the groups. Well, I said he shouldn't be here today. He isn't here at the moment. He's popped out of the arena. So we understand there'll be a little bit of a delay. So that gives us a chance, Jasmine, to ask you first of all about the progress of your brother, who's actually playing over on the other table here. He's done so well, just hasn't quite been able to get across the line and win one of the groups yet.
That's right, but he's been playing so well. And the thing is, I mean, when you're playing so many matches and so many matches in a row, I mean, that really, that shows how fit Albin is and how, strong he is, refocusing even when he lost or didn't make it through the group. So that's impressive. So I know what that feels like. I think everybody does. So that's really, it's tough, and every now and then you need some rolls, you need the luck on your side. So, but he's a great player, and I think he'll make it through. That's just what I have a feeling.
Now, if he doesn't make it through today and he doesn't get eliminated, he plays you in the group tomorrow. Now, listen, we all think that would be fantastic. How do you feel about that possibility?
It's so funny because whenever there's a chance of this happening, of course, everybody talks to us about that. And I guess we're both not thinking about this yet. We're like, of course, brother and sister, and there's always been this competition between us. But until it's not happening, I don't think we're thinking much about this. Yeah,
it's probably the right attitude to take, and Albin, of course, would like to get through today and not be around tomorrow. I'm sure he'd much rather spend a Sunday cheering you on, so we'll see how he gets on. He's playing Mark Bijsterbosch on the other table. But here it's Mieszko Fortunski and Roberto Gomez.
So, I think a really tough first shot. 2-ball on the other side of the table, but I think he's got to try and get back up to the table for the 3. Really tough one. For all the table, everything is open. So if he makes this one, plays position for the 3, then everything else seems to be easy. It looks like he's going to go for 3 rails. Yeah, that was a really, really tough first shot. Leaves a pretty much open table now.
So how does Roberto Gomez respond now to yesterday? He knows he should have won the group. He played so much good pool and it all just came undone in those final moments. Could be a little bit of a hangover from that today, so it'll be interesting to see in the early stages what sort of frame of mind he's in after the disappointment of last night.
Yeah, seems to have a solid open table now. Going 2 rails to the center of the table. Or no, I think he's gonna go 2 rails. Yeah, that's a little bit too much speed. Oh, that could have been a lot easier. But I think it's interesting what you said, because when you had a tough day before, played so many matches, you're exhausted. And then it's interesting how they recover and how fast you actually recover before your first match. It's like what state of mind you're in and how you're feeling. It's really, really interesting to watch that, even as a pool player.
Extension call.
And the thing is, pool players probably have more experience of that situation than players of most other sports, because you have so many double elimination tournaments where you can lose one match, but you still have the chance to bounce back from it.
Exactly. That was a good shot. Now going for the 7 to the side. I think when you have this first rack and you're like, not playing the right angles and stuff, you just need to really take a little bit of more time to kind of find your rhythm, your stroke.
Yeah, in a way, this is better than if it was a straightforward run out for him. He's had a little bit of work to do here. He's going to draw a little bit of confidence from the fact that he's seen it through, which it looks like he's going to now. And the simplest of 9 balls.
Yeah, pocket this in a way a little bit here.
But he's dealt with it, and Roberto Gomez off to a good start. He leads 1-0. So you're a few years older than Albin, Jasmine. I assume you started playing first.
Yes, exactly. I'm 35. Actually, Albin is 30. So yes, I was the first one to start playing pool. The age of like 6, 7. But of course, we had a small pool table at home too. So when we were 3 and 4 years old, we started playing at home, and then at the age of 7, we were tall enough to start playing in our parents' club. So.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You both come from a pool family because your parents had the pool hall at home. When did they start doing that? Was that before you were even born they were running that?
Yes, it was actually our father and our uncle. They were both pool players, and they loved playing pool. And then my dad kind of had the idea to open up an own club. And for a very long time, my uncle and my dad were like the big competitors, you know. There were finals of ocean versus ocean, so so it's really a billiard family. Our mother is the only one who really doesn't play pool, and to be honest, it's nice to have a non-pool part in the family as well.
So is it just the two of you? You're the only two children?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when he started playing then, did you show him the ropes early on, or did he figure it out for himself?
Well, of course, we played together, and our dad was very, he was very much the billiard trainer, really showing us everything, and then we spent a lot of time playing each other in the club, of course.
And there can't be many families where a brother and sister have represented their country together in a World Cup.
I think it's definitely something special. Even brother and sister being in the same sport, and we both have our careers and our titles. So I think that's definitely something special.
Roberto Gomez then 1-0 up as he breaks off in rack 2.
Wow, that was a strong break. Controlled the cue ball, but it got kicked. Ooh. There's a lot of speed in this break. Just ended up didn't make a ball, didn't make the corner ball. So I think Mieszko's going to play a safety, I assume.
Been so few dry breaks this week.
I was gonna make sure he places the cue ball behind it too. Yeah. Yeah, that was a solid safety. I don't think he could have done much more here. Roberto's gonna go rail first. I'm not sure if it looks like he can kick it in rail first. That's what he looks at, I think.
Well, that was the idea. And he's left a good chance now for Fortunski.
Yeah, definitely looks like a good open table. But of course, sometimes it looks easy, but nothing is easy in this situation. So.
Well, we saw that with Kasper Matikainen in the previous match. He struggled with pretty much every opportunity that did come his way. Fortunski will be 29 next Thursday. He's been around a while, though. He won an event on the Euro Tour as long ago as 2016. Beat no less a figure than Ralph Suke in the final of that. He won a straight pool division of the Derby City Classic a couple of years later. And 2019 was a really good year for him. He had that final in the Las Vegas Open against Niels Feijen. And he made quite an impact on both the US Open and the World Championship. And he won the 10 ball at the European Championships. He actually beat Matikainen in the final of that.
Yeah, so far so good. I think all the positions were just perfect. It's looking good, good rhythm. I think it's really important now to get this first point, kind of the start into this match after the first break. It's playing really solid. Now the question is if he's gonna go directly to the other side of the table or play follow. Not so sure. He's gonna go directly.
He's Been here a long time. He came in for Group 2 on Tuesday and actually won his first 4 matches. He so nearly got to the group final. He was 4-1 up against Kelly Fisher in the semi-final, ended up losing 5-4, and not sure he's entirely put that out of his system since then, because he's not been the same player for the last few days. Only won 2 of his 6 matches in the group yesterday.
I think it's so difficult to keep up this tension for such a long time, and you see a lot of players, they play one day really great and all of a sudden the next day they start to struggle a little bit. I think that's, you know, because you have so many matches, you're playing the whole day, and then of course there comes a point where just your concentration, your tension goes down a little bit, and in a race to 5 you got to keep it up all the way.
Early stages here, and it's 1-1. So you spoke about the family billiard hall then back in Austria, Jasmine. Is it still going strong?
No, we don't have this anymore. It's many years ago. Our father sold the whole place, and no, we don't have this pool club anymore. But about 10 years ago, we opened up our own billiard academy. So it's in a soccer stadium. It's the Billiard Sport Academy, and that's where Alb and I are practicing and spending most of our time.
Well, here's what your brother is spending his time doing at the moment. That's not the greatest shot he's ever played.
It was a tough one, though. Going rail first with, I think he played left English to kind of kick the 4 and get away with the cue ball again. So that was a tough one. Just missed the 4 ball.
Could be 1-1 here against Mark Beisterbosch. What's it like when one of you is playing and the other one is watching? How does that feel?
Well, we've been doing this for so many years, so it's kind of normal. But it's so cool to be at the same event. You know, very often that I'm in different places and he plays the tournaments in different cities, so it's really cool to be at the same place. But it's so funny when he plays a Matchroom event and I'm at home. I'm still nervous, you know, even though I know exactly what it feels like and I know the situation. You know, I get nervous watching. So.
You're sort of like the Venus and Serena of the pool world.
Kind of, yeah.
Little bit of work to do here for the Dutchman. Got off to a good start in his opening match, but still ended up losing 5-4 to Billy Thorpe. So 1-1 there. 1-1 here as Fortunski gets us underway.
Okay, I think he made the corner ball. I think it was the, what was it? It was the 4, yeah. No, the 5, sorry. So he made a ball, but I think he can't make the 1 ball past the 3. I think he might have to make this into the other corner pocket, but that makes this shot really tough. The rest of the table looks quite open, so it's basically the shot to make. You know, once you make this one, play position for the 2, then the rest should be much easier. And that looks very good. Oh. Yeah, that's
this is horrible now.
This is like the worst thing that can happen when you just position a cue ball in front of another one. All of a sudden makes the next shot really tough, even though the 2 ball is right in front of the pocket. But you can't do much with the cue ball now. Basically roll it in and then take a long 3.
Extension call.
Calling his extension. The shot clock, of course, wasn't originally in place for this tournament, but it was brought in after the second day, and I think pretty much everyone agrees now that was the right move.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, that's a tough one. I think I jinxed it because I said when he makes the 1 ball, the rest is is solid and easy. Well, that's what happens sometimes. All of a sudden the cue ball goes somewhere where you didn't expect it to go.
Yeah, neither player entirely into their stride yet, but still very early stages in the match. Roberto Gomez, 42 years of age, from the Philippines, former World Championship runner-up in 9-ball.
Oh, he's playing a safety. That's definitely a good safety. I thought he was going to go for the 2-ball. Didn't feel comfortable enough, so he chose to play a safety.
They played yesterday, and Gomez won 5-4. That was part of that great start he made to yesterday, where he won all of his first 5 matches, 3 of them in hill-hill finishes.
Oh, just missed it.
And looking at the position of the balls, Jasmine, that could be very expensive.
Yeah. That was, safety was well played. He couldn't really go 2 rails. He had to just really go 1 rail and then hit the 2-ball really thin and just missed it. So that was a tough one. But of course now, really open table. I mean, I don't want to jinx it again, but I think this will be rack number 2 or point number 2 on the board for Gomez.
Do you like watching, Jasmine? And I don't mean necessarily watching your brother play, but we've had other players in the box during the week, and they've been saying they actually like sitting in here and watching it, and they feel even with all their experience, they're learning something from it. Are you someone who likes watching other players? Oh,
absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I think you can always learn, no matter how much experience you have, how much or how long you've played. And you know, sometimes it's really interesting to especially when it comes to safeties and position game, you're like, okay, what would you do? And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, that's a different approach. So, yeah, never too old or too experienced to learn.
So all of the first 3 racks have gone against the break. And Roberto Gomez leads by 2 racks to 1. More from Jasmine and me in just a moment.
One thing's guaranteed, that shot will appear on plenty of highlight reels.
Whoa, did he split the wicket? What a beautiful shot that was. What a beautiful execution.
Look at this. Oh my gosh.
Sometimes it's best if you get up to the table and just hit the ball.
Sporting events should not be held until there are no new cases.
Well, that's right up there with the... No crowd, but who needs them?
Just in terms of pure potting ability, he's just one of the best we've ever seen.
Oh my word. Incredible.
What a power-packed partnership it is. Start the engraving process.
And welcome back to day 6 of the Predator Championship League. We'll get back to Gomez and Fortunski in a moment, but first let's hear from the winner of the opening match. 5-0 against Kasper Matikainen. It's Alex Kazakis.
Alex, 5-0, that's the perfect start. You must be very pleased.
Oh yeah, really. I'm very happy I start with a 5-0 win. And you know, to be honest, when I wake up this morning, I was so nervous. I never felt, I mean, of course I felt like that before, but you know, I thought, oh, I'm not gonna play good. I'm not gonna, you know, I was shaking. And then I came up to the table, and then I suddenly, like, I remember everything, like how to handle the pressure and all this stuff. And then I enjoy myself and I play really good. I just miss, I think, just one ball in one bad position. That was a good match.
And Alex Kazakis will be back on this table later. Match 4 on table 1 against Billy Thorpe. But on the main table now, it's Roberto Gomez leading 2-1 against Mieszko Fortunski, and the man from the Philippines has the break in rack 4.
2 racks to 1.
Okay, didn't make the corner ball, but was able to make the 1 ball into the side. And, well, open shot, good one, good possibility. 2 ball, and then the 3 is in the pocket, so definitely a good chance. That's what you want after the break.
First ball he's made off the break in this match. He came up dry in rack 2.
Oh. Okay, he wanted to go 2 rails and play position for the 3. That's definitely not what he wanted, to make the 3 ball.
Yeah, it would have been nice and easy, wouldn't it, with the 3 ball position like that, to then play position to the 4, but now he's got to go direct to the 4.
Yeah, that's a tough one now. And he makes another ball.
Oh, that will do. This is an eventful rack already.
Yeah, that's made the 7 into the side now. And I think he actually wanted to make sure that, you know, to play kind of a safety, hit it thinner. So, well. That was a good shot, place position for the 5 now. Looks quite good. Perfect angle to get down to the 6 ball.
It's a bit like the run out he had in the opening rack. It wasn't straightforward, it was eventful, but he got there in the end, and looks like he's going to do the same this time.
Yeah, definitely working hard from 1 ball to the next. Yep. I guess that's it for this rack.
It is. Roberto Gomez takes a 2-rack lead for the first time at 3-1. How big is the sport in Austria? There's been a lot of success. You've had so much of it on the women's side, Albin obviously on the men's side, and of course the World Cup success in recent years. So what is the sort of level of popularity of the game in Austria?
I think it changed really a lot over the last couple of years or decade, because when I started playing pool, it was of course not as big as it is now. So the success of my game and Albin's, and of course also of the Austrian team, has changed it a lot. So definitely much more popularity, and you can tell also that when it comes to the media, there is much more interest in our sport than it was like 10 years ago. So I mean, still working hard. I think you should never just, sit down, calm down and say, now it's smooth sailing. You've got to work hard and keep doing this. But definitely a lot has changed.
Here in the UK, of course, the big cue sport is snooker, which is hugely popular. There's a good following for pool, but it's not of the same level of profile. And I think a lot of people in Britain don't realise that around continental Europe, pool is actually much more mainstream.
It's true, but still, though, a lot of people in Austria ask me about snooker. A lot of people are watching snooker. They love it. They always talk to me about it. So I think it's important for the whole sport, to have snooker on TV, to have pool, to really see the different disciplines. I think it helps each other.
And there was a major snooker tournament in Austria last year for the first time ever, won by Neil Robertson. Have you ever played snooker?
Well, of course, just for fun or for practice purpose. I love it, but it's difficult, of course, to just change, because it is still different. A lot of people ask me about it. It's like, can you just switch to snooker? I'm like, well, no, it's too specific, but I do love it for training purposes.
Mieszko Fortunski then needs to start making something happen in this match. 3-1 down, but he's got the break.
Okay, made the corner ball, and now the question is he gonna have? Yeah, he's gonna have a shot on the 1 ball. I'm not so sure about the 3 ball with the 6. If he can make the 3 ball into the corner, can see it from here.
Yeah, we'll get a better view from the overhead angle.
Yeah, because this might be the only problem. But let's see.
Oh, we didn't quite see them finish, but we'll be able to tell in a moment.
But the way he behaves now, it looks like it works. Can play the 2 ball, and it looks like the 3 ball is not an issue. Be a very important point for him now at this stage.
Yeah, he's just seen Gomez run out from the break. Giving some of it back to him here. Should complete it from this position.
No really problem here for him at all. Just playing it really solid.
It was announced yesterday that Fortunski will be in the Poland team for the World Cup. Wojciech Szewczak will be his partner.
Ooh.
Yeah, we've seen 1 or 2 of these missed this week.
Yeah, hit it a little bit too thick, so the ball, so he couldn't get as much out with the cue ball as he wanted to play position for the 9. It's gonna stretch over the table now.
Gomez broken ran in the 4th rack. Fortunski has done the same in the 5th, and he closes to 3-2 down. About 10 or 15 years ago, Jasmine, there was a really thriving women's pool scene in America, and that's faded a bit. So what would you say is the overall state of the women's game now around the world in terms of opportunity for the players?
Well, it's so hard to explain it, but there was a big tour in America, and then, for the last couple of years, it was China was the big continent to be for the billiard sport, for the women's events. We had so many big, like, World Championships, China Open in Asia. So it always seems to switch a little bit from continent to continent. I do believe we have a lot of fans. We have a lot of people out there who love to watch women's pool. But for the last couple of years, it was Asia was the place to be. So we'll see after this whole crisis what it will be. I think it's always a chance to create something new, even though it's tough now for the sport. But I believe that there will be a way, and then we just have to work hard and build something up and see where it goes.
We're having a look there at the outside of Stadium MK. There's a big football match on this afternoon, actually. MK Dons play Doncaster here. Doncaster Rovers chasing promotion from League One. MK Dons in more of a mid-table spot. But just speaking of all that, Jasmine, you've not actually had a tournament for about a year.
That's right. I just the other day I was in a hotel room and I thought, when was my last event? And then it was like 390 days ago. So it's been a while.
Specific. Yeah. 3-2 Gomez.
Made the corner ball, but the one ball hit the edge of the pocket. But I think he can actually go through the 4 and the 5 and the 6 and make the one ball.
Yeah, it's a tiny gap, but I think you're right. I think
there's a gap, and the 2 ball is right in front of the side pocket, so it's actually, yeah, he can make the one ball. That's a little bit of luck involved that he can see the one ball like this, and the 2 ball is right in front of the side pocket. So
just time to update you on the other table. Mark Bijsterbosch leading Albin Ocean by 3 racks to 2. Bijsterbosch looking to bounce back from a losing start. Ocean against looking to bounce back from another disappointment in the playoff stage last night. But as you say, Jasmine, he's been doing well to keep getting to that stage over and over, and still got chances to get through to the winners group on Monday.
oh wow, that was a really good shot, going 3 rails with English, playing position for the 4, because he's got to, follow, and then the only chance he has is to make the 5 ball into the side pocket. So I think he just played a perfect position.
Quality in this match really starting to be stepped up here. And while Gomez is trying to take care of these, Jasmine, got to point out you're the only one of the 3 women still involved in the tournament. Kelly Fisher and Christina Tkach both involved earlier in the week. What did you make of their performances?
I think it was really strong. I mean, I totally understand it's a tough format because you're playing so many matches. It's only raised to 5-9 ball. That can be really cruel sometimes. But I didn't see all the matches, to be honest. But I think they did a very good job. And after so long without a tournament, I think that's really good. That was painful right now. That's it's awful when that happens, when you miss cue on.
He leaves himself open to it a bit, though, because he cues very low to the cue ball, and things like that are going to happen as a result from time to time. He sort of scoops it up into the air.
Yeah, that when that happens, that hurts.
Well, what a turning point this could be. Looked for all the world like Gomez was going to find himself on the hill, instead of which Fortunski has a chance to level at 3-3, and he'll have the break in the next rack.
Definitely a big turning point. 4-2 or 3-3, that's a big difference, especially when something like that happens. That can go to your head a little bit.
Well, it's all changed so quickly. Gomez looked to be taking a grip on this match. Not now. It's 3-3, and the conclusion is next.
Sporting events should not be held until there are no new cases.
Well, that's right up there with me. No crowd, but who needs them? Just in terms of pure potting ability, he's just one of the best we've ever seen.
Oh my word. Incredible.
What a power-packed partnership it is. Start the engraving process.
Busy day for the Ocean family from Klagenfurt in Austria. Former world champion Alban has just closed a 4-3 down against Mark Beisterbosch on table 2 in the Predator Championship League. And his sister Jasmine is alongside me watching a match which is ebbing and flowing between Mieszko Fortunski and Roberto Gomez. The player from Poland has just levelled at 3-3 and he's got the break in rack 7.
At this stage, I mean, every break is important, but this one is really special. I think, well, he made like 2 or 3 balls, but the position for the one ball, it's not looking... I mean, he can see the one ball, that's important, but not easy.
Yeah, 3 balls down there.
Yeah. I think he can cut it. But the question is, what do you do with the cue ball? And the question is also, are you going to risk it at this stage, or is maybe a safety a better choice? Maybe stop the cue ball, get the one ball up to the other side of the table, play a safety. Depends how you feel. I mean, if you're feeling good, you can go for the cut.
Bit more pressure on Fortunski. He knows if he loses this rack, then Gomez will be breaking on the hill.
Well, he goes for the safety, just like I said. Stop the cue ball, leave the cue ball up there and bring the one ball down. So I think, yeah, did a good job here. He might be able to see just a little bit of the one ball. I think you can see it. I'm curious what he's going to do now. This one just... Okay. So now, I guess he's going to bank the one ball to the corner pocket. Definitely looks at it.
Can you stop the clock, please? Just 1 second, Mieszko. Can you not do that, please, while he's at the table? Start the clock again.
We're playing a safety. I don't know what he's... No, he's playing a safety again. Oops, that the cue ball looks... That was... Yeah, that was not what he wanted.
Yeah, don't be going there. And you maybe just saw there Viv Rusko, the referee, having a word with Gomez in the background. Maybe he was moving around on the shot or whatever.
It's tough situations when you're like, you can try to pot it, but you can also play a safety. At this stage, you're like, you're maybe not sure, so you're kind of like in between those choices. Oh wow, that was
terrible.
Surprising. Now I was ball in hand, missed the one ball, and I think he couldn't believe it either, looking at his face.
That's even worse than the 9 ball he missed that would have seen him win the group final last night. Well, what a chance now for Fortunski.
I'm sure he didn't think he was gonna come to the table again. Wow, that was really a big surprise now.
He was just getting comfortable in his chair and then he was straight back out of it again. He does that though, Gomez. He misses unexpected balls. Sometimes you see him play and you think this guy looks unbeatable, and then he does something like that.
Yeah, it was first a miscue, and now this one. So he seems to be a bit out of it right now.
Again, though, it's a bit like what happened to Fortunski the other day when he lost that semi-final to Kelly Fisher from so far in front. He came back the next day. He didn't look like the same player. And I wonder, are we seeing a reaction from Gomez to last night's extraordinary events?
Well, it's definitely not easy games, because I think he basically set up a straight shot now. Cue ball almost frozen to the rail, so you really, again, you can't do much. You can just roll it in. I don't know if he has a little bit of angle. Just roll it in and take a long 8 ball. Yeah.
This is a little bit of a tester.
Yep, well
That'll
done.
do. Yep, potted 3 balls off the break. Didn't really take him anywhere. But with ball in hand, Gomez had a great chance to go 4-3 in front. He would have been breaking on the hill. But handed the chance straight over to Fortunski, and he gets to the hill instead. He leads by 4 racks to 3.
What a momentum change.
Yeah, it's been an intriguing sort of match, and we saw a lot of really good individual performances earlier in the week. The last couple of days, it's been much more matches like this, close finishes, players making mistakes along the way, which is probably more intriguing to watch. And of course, you'll be coming into this tomorrow, Jasmine, you and Dennis Grabe, the last 2 players to make your bow in the tournament, as it were, in Group 7. How are you feeling about your game after so long out?
To be really honest, when I played at home, when I practiced, I felt great, playing really well, feeling good on the table. But I also know that after over a year, I really don't know what to expect. So my plan is to go to the table and just really take it from one ball to the next and see how I feel. Because when you haven't been playing for a while, you lose that match tension, You kind of need to find your rhythm again, because a match is different than practice, of course, and I know that, but I'm glad to be here and I can't wait to get to this table.
And that's the thing, I've noticed it. A lot of the players this week have said that they're just pleased to be playing again, and if they achieve anything, that's a bonus. And it's funny, the players who are talking in that way and taking that attitude seem to be the ones who are actually doing best this week.
Yeah, I think you really got to be as relaxed as possible. Of course, it's easier said than done, because we all want to win. We all want to compete on a high level. But at this point, after such a long time without tournaments, you really got to take it as easy as possible. Relax and do what you can and just adjust if something is not working out.
Roberto Gomez, 4-3 down with the break in rack 8.
I think that was it was a pretty perfect break. Made the corner ball, made the 1 ball, stopped the cue ball, has a perfect shot on the 2. So definitely a very, very good chance for him to get another point, kind of find his rhythm again.
News from the other table, Jasmine. Unfortunately, not good news for your family because Albin has lost 5-3 to Mark Bijsterbosch. He's already back out there, actually, for his next match against Kasper Matikainen, who we saw earlier, losing 5-0 to Alex Kazakis.
I think it's really important when you lose a match like this. It's important to shake it off as fast as possible, and just adjust for the next match and just kind of find your focus again and really shake it off. I think that's really important for this format here because you don't get a lot of time. And Gomez is looking good on this rack again. So this could be another heel-heel match if he makes the last 4 balls here.
Well, he had 5 of them in his 8 matches yesterday. He actually won the first 4, but lost the one that mattered most, the group final.
I think he wanted a different angle on the 7, but still manageable. Just getting to the other side of the 8 then, I guess. Oh, that looks like too much speed, but I think he got away with it.
Yeah, only just got away with it, so...
I don't think he wanted to run into the 8.
No, so definitely not, but he's had a kindly flick.
It worked out, and looks like a heel-heel here on this table.
Yeah, with so many of them on the main table yesterday, 6 in a row at one stage, and another one for us here. So what's the plan today, Jasmine? It's been great having you in the commentary box, but you're going to do much practice, or is it more about just relaxing and resting ahead of a big day tomorrow?
Oh, I'm definitely going to go and practice a little bit more. I'm also going to go out for a little run, just to get some fresh air and to, get my blood flowing. So, yeah, just making the best out of this day, practice, running, and then, of course, watching the other players.
The first thing I saw when I got here last Sunday was Albin running around the outside of the stadium, and I've really noticed this actually in recent times, that the modern pool players, including yourself, you all seem to be very into looking after yourself and staying fit.
I think it's really important because I always believed in the fact that a fit body brings more performance over a longer period of time. I totally believe in that. Of course, we're not triathletes, but staying fit and taking care of your body and your mind, I think is always a good preparation for billiards. So totally believe in that. And
is that something that you incorporate into teaching the younger players at your academy?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's not just for sports in general. I think you should take care of your body and your mind, no matter what you do, if it's sports or if you're in the business world. So that's what we are trying to tell the kids. Make sure you take care of your body. And so running, for example, what Albin does, I think it's just perfect preparation. Of course, you should do it at home too, not start at a tournament with that. But I think it's important.
Well, this is important as well. It's 4-4, and Mieszko Fortunski of Poland has the break in the final rack.
Also good break. Made the corner ball, the cue ball got kicked, but still got away with it. That's always bad, when you're breaking well, you control the cue ball, and all of a sudden another ball comes and just kicks the cue ball somewhere. It's really something you can't control, but in this case, worked out fine. Good possibility for to play the 1 ball, but I think he just has the wrong angle to go down to the 2, so he might just stop the 1 ball now and take, and play a cut or draw it back. I'm not so sure what he can do. Yes, he draws it back.
Kasper Matikainen has just won the opening rack on the other table against Albin Ocean, and he really needed that. He was all at sea really in the first match against Alex Kazakis. Matikainen making a losing start, beaten 5-0, so he'll feel like he's finally settled into this a bit.
So he played a good position on the 2 ball. Rest of the table looks once again quite open, but doesn't make it easier. I know that.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? In, say, snooker, if it goes to the last frame, you know at the very least you're going to have one shot. You can impact on it in some way, but in 9-ball you can battle away to take it to a hill-hill finish, and then there's absolutely nothing you can do about it in the final rack. If your opponent gets into a position like this,
Extension call.
Yeah, I was really happy with this position now. He ran into the 6, but still has a good shot on the next one, so got a little bit away with it, but he wasn't happy. You could see it on his face, but makes it work now, so. That works. Now probably is going to draw back for the 7.
every shot just that bit more difficult when it's this situation, a hill-hill finish, and you know it's for the match, and you also know if you get something wrong it can cost you the match. He's generally been a good starter for Fortunski. He's been involved in 4 previous groups, and in all but one of them he's won his opening match.
Play good position for the 8 now, so this looks good for Fortunski, that's for sure. And just roll down for the 9 ball, and that looks like the winning 9 ball.
Yeah, looks to be all over now. Thanks so much for joining us, Jasmine, and all the best tomorrow. We look forward to seeing you then. Mieszko Fortunski has got the win here. He's beaten Roberto Gomez, the runner-up in the previous group, by 5 racks to 4. He's straight back on to play Billy Thorpe in a few minutes, so stay with us for that.